Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hate Live, my weekly podcast. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? We're only going to give it a few minutes here to build up a tiny bit. Looks like the viewership is growing rapidly on the stream. So thanks very much for being here. Tonight's Hate Live is going to be quite the interesting one, ladies and gentlemen, because I've got a few things to say, a few things that I really feel at this point I do need to address. And, every time that I do serious talk about stuff, it seems to, have a different kind of an air to it, and tonight's going to be one of those nights. But don't worry, it's definitely not going to be the whole stream. We're going to have lots of discussion about various topics, including also what's coming up shortly, gameplay-wise with me, what I think about Destiny. My initial thoughts are now going to be given on Destiny. We're going to have some exciting changes that I'm going to announce. Some things that are going to be changing right now, immediately, and some things that are going to be changing in the near future. Okay? And we are going to talk about a huge gaming news story this week, the biggest news of the week that everyone is talking about. So we're going to talk about it here tonight on Hate Live as well. We are going to have a Back in the Day segment. This is going to be all about my rebellious years, which is probably, I'd say there was about a year and a half of my life to 2 years of my life where I was pretty rebellious. I did stuff that in some cases is pretty funny, in other cases I'm not too proud of. And, I was be talking about all kinds of stuff, like drinking. The first time that I actually tried marijuana, yes, I have inhaled. Unlike Bill Clinton, I did inhale. You'll find out all my thoughts about it, okay? You'll find out about some crazy partying and stuff that I used to do back in the day. So that's going to be kind of that segment, okay? And then we're going to have live callers at the end of the show like usual, dependent on how long the show goes. Okay? And I know some people in the stream chat are saying, Phil, you need to find a way to filter callers. Yeah, great. If I actually had a nice group of people who screened my calls, maybe I would, but unfortunately, I don't think it's very possible to do that. And it's okay. For the most part, our callers have been pretty good on Hate Live. We've had a couple instances. I think it's been 2 so far where we had a prank caller, per se. But I think it'll be fine. I'm going to try not to have calls linger on for a long time like I did last week either. It'll be real quick. Ask a question, answer, boom, next caller. Okay? People want me to 420 blaze it, okay? Great. So, that's going to be Hate Live for tonight, everyone. It's going to be a good one. I think you guys will like it. I want to remind you before we get started that next week there will not be Hate Live. Next week we are doing Ask the King. Now, I have not mentioned this since the last Ask the King almost a month ago, so I know that probably none of you remembered. I didn't remember until I looked at the calendar today. I was like, oh shit, next week is Ask the King? So I ask you, please, to post up your questions on the forums, thekingofhate.com. In the Ask the King thread, there is already a topic set up for next week's Ask the King. And that is the best chance for you to get your question read and answered on the show live. Keep in mind, yes, you can still tweet me or Facebook post me your questions. Keep in mind, sometimes that doesn't even work. The Facebook didn't even work last month, which is so stupid. I hate that sometimes technology works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be next week, and I'm really excited. You know, I love Ask the King as well as Hate Live. So please post up your questions, okay? So, thanks for being here tonight, everyone. As of late, Hate Live has been very popular. The shows have been pulling in some pretty great views, and both on stream and on YouTube. And people have basically very much liked the fact that I am addressing important topics. And this Hate Live is probably going to be, at least for those of you who actually watch my content, are interested in my future and stuff, it's going to be a big one because I am addressing some pretty serious stuff, some important issues that need to be addressed, okay? And things that people need to know. And like I said, the changes that are coming as of immediately, like I'm not even kidding, as of tomorrow, some of these changes are going into effect that are going to shake things up. And I think that a lot of people are going to like them. I think that people, I'm listening to the people. I have my ears open, my eyes open, my ears to the ground. I'm listening to the people and what they want and what they are thinking could be positive changes and new things. And that's what I am working on right now because, you can't always be the same thing. For a long time when I was just on YouTube, before I even started live streaming, I was the same exact thing every single day, right? Really no variety. I was playing the same kind of games. I was doing eight freaking hours of gameplay a day, insane amount of videos, using a camera, not direct capture. Just think of how much has changed in the past 2 years concerning my content and concerning a lot of things directly based on your feedback. And so, every once in a while, of course, there are people who think that I don't listen. It's not the case. The thing is, I just don't always have a time to respond, or I can't respond in a timely manner because I'm wrapped up with stuff. I'm fully aware that, this past 3 months or so now that I've lived in Washington, that I've been so wrapped up with the move that I haven't really been listening. Phil, are you going to do this? Phil, could you do this? Phil, this could make things better. Phil, did you think about this? And I really have just been like, I just got to get set up and start making videos again because my business hasn't been operating for 2 weeks, and that's pretty much what my focus was, right? But now here we are in the fall, and it's like, man, I really do need to sit back and refocus and sit back, look at the situation from afar rather than in the midst of it. Take a step back and look at from the outside and say, gee, what's actually happening here, and what can we do? Okay? So, tonight's going to be a good Hate Live. I think you're going to like it. I really do. I think that a lot of people who... a lot of people who are actually been watching my content for a while and wondering what's going on, you're going to like tonight's Hate Live, okay? Excuse me. And someone has criticized me and said, snorting. Why am I snorting? Stop snorting. I have a condition, it's called post-nasal drip. It is a shitty condition because there's really not much that can be done to cure it, okay? And basically the condition is that I have, stuff dripping down the back of my throat. And if I don't do snort, I will choke and or sneeze on it. And unfortunately, it's aggravated right now because I do have a fungal infection that I have not been able to treat and cure because I don't have health care. I have not had health care since I moved to Washington, thanks to the state of Washington botching the whole process. But that was last week. We talked about that on Hate Live last week. We're not going to talk about that again this week. So I will eventually get this treated once I get health care, but I can't do it until I do, and I'm still waiting. And you see, that's really what I need to start doing, is I need to respond to things with civility and intelligence and a cool head. A cool head will prevail. Remember that. And I need to learn that because I do have a temper problem from time to time. It all depends on how my mood is or whatever, but I do have a temper problem sometimes where I go off the hilt. And some people like that and some people don't. So I need to, at least for situations where simple things like that can be addressed, I need to stay calm and collected. And some people right now are saying, who is this man on stream and what have you done with Phil? What is happening? Okay, everyone, so we're going to get started. I know some people... Oh, my God, Phil only did like a 5 or 10 minute pre-stream? Yeah. We're going to talk about this tonight. It's actually part of the changes that are coming into effect as of immediately, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started with Hate Live. It's going to be a good show, hopefully 2 hours. And let's get it on the road. Here we go.